Hello and welcome to another episode of the Whole End Talks. Today you're joined by myself, Aaron, and Jamie. You right, Joe?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
Could be better after yesterday, but we'll get on with that. So obviously recording this the day after Villa lost 1-0 at home to Everton. Um, you watched it at home, didn't you? So what were your thoughts watching it on TV?
Atmosphere was awful from what I heard. From what I heard on the TV.
It actually weren't too bad until they scored. We sang, Emery Cloud Army for about a good solid 10 minutes in a row at one stage.
Yeah. It is
Um,
hard. It is hard to tell over the TV, especially when you have Sky, because sometimes Sky make things quieter, and then like if you it obviously it's quite renowned now that whenever they play at Anfield, Liverpool, and Sky's on it, they always emphasise
the
the
atmosphere.
first 5 minutes. Yeah.
Mm.
So it might have just been Sky. But yeah, it didn't seem like the atmosphere was too great. Partially probably expectation now that you should be beating teams like Everton at home, whereas before a couple of years ago, you were dying for every 3 points, so because
Mm.
you had to stay in the division, so could be an element of that. Lackluster passing. It was just everyone was just couldn't seem to string passes together. Coming away from the game. Um, I thought Matson and Tielemans played really well. Rogers got himself in some really good positions, but just again, like you said before we came on here, we could be playing now, and he still wouldn't have scored. Martinez mistake for the goal, Pau Torres mistake for the goal. Esri, the first half kept turning inside out. Like he got caught once on it. I thought Cashy done all right dealing with Grealish. Just sent him home every time. Gasson coming on, awful. Bogard, I don't even know what to say. He's very versatile and he's young,
Yeah,
but
so I thought out of all the players we're missing yesterday, Kamara was the biggest one, even when McGinn went off. And what I found when Kamara doesn't play, and I don't think Tilleman does it as well as Kamara, but when our centre backs have the ball, he is always open.
mm,
When we were up there yesterday, you can see that like Torres and Konza had the ball quite a few times, like they're holding their hands up, like where are you? Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
Kamara's normally there for the pass. Um, and I thought we tried playing a bit differently yesterday. We went more passing to the wingers rather than through the midfield.
mm,
I don't know if that was because the way the game was playing out or it was planned. I just felt we tried going more wider than normally. We normally go central, then wide, don't we? And then back in
yeah,
and then switch it. But that's where I thought we missed Kamara yesterday, just for that from Konza to Kamara. Even if he goes back to Konza and he opens up to Cash, it just wasn't no rhythm. I didn't think without Kamara being in there. And it did Tillemans defensively, I thought done really well yesterday. But going forward, I think was a bit lackluster. Like you said, the goal is from where we sit. I thought it was quite a good save by Martinez, but then obviously when you look at it back on replays, he should be holding it. What Torres is doing, I don't know. I know it just hit him on the back of the fucking foot, but it was just two mistakes from their one goal. Do you know what I mean? And it was just you touch on the atmosphere. It was dead at times. Even a couple of players lifted their arms up trying to get the atmosphere
yeah. I saw Cashy do
going.
that a few times.
Yeah, but it just goes to show our lack of squad depth. Do you reckon it's finally showing, or
Yeah, I'm gonna try to touch on something. I was trying to keep right in my head of things that you were saying. As you're doing it. First thing about Kamara, I saw something today where I don't know if it was started or involved in, but either way, games he's played in, we are winless in 5 games where he hasn't played, and
mm,
we've only won 1 in 8.
mm,
Where Kamara either hasn't started or hasn't been involved in. I think it's been involved in, but regardless, that just shows how important he is to how we play.
mm.
We've said so many times that he's our best player. But yeah, that's a little touch on Kamara. The goal, yeah, again, Torres makes a mistake. and then Martinez should be holding that. So both them awful. I thought Torres as well yesterday weren't that great whatsoever. It's
I
frustrating. I
actually
don't know
felt it
why.
was quite harsh on Lindelof as well. To be fair, to Lindelof's played well.
So this was about to say, it's not fair. Well, I say not fair. It's not right, in my opinion, on Emery saying that Lindelof has kind of set the bar for everyone else, all the other centre halves at the club. He said, I think 2 weeks ago, how good he's been, and then he hasn't really put a foot wrong, and yet he was benched for the FA Cup game. But I thought, okay, he's just doing that just as a bit of rotation. But then he's done it again on the weekend, and I said, as soon as the teams come out, I was like, why isn't he playing Lindelof?
Mm.
Especially when they play, they're going to sit in and play direct. Ezri isn't the best in the air. Torres is the worst centre half we've got in the air. Probably the best on the ball, funny enough, after his mistake yesterday, but he's still probably the best on the ball in the sense of line breaking passes, etc. But balls in the air, if Mings ain't there, you put the next person there, you want Lindelof.
The only reason I thought is obviously we got it definitely play Fenerbahce on Thursday. I think Lindelof, so I thought that might be the reason he prefers him in that match rather than Everton. Probably because
Mm.
that he might have thought that was more physical and he might suit that game better. But yeah, I don't know how you saw on TV, but that Barry absolutely bullied Torres. Every single
I
ball in
know.
the air he won.
Yeah.
He brought it down, and I didn't even think he was that good from when I watched that Barry, but he was by far the best player on that pitch yesterday. He took his finish well, and he never really went over to Konza's side very much. He stuck with Torres pretty much the whole game.
I noticed that as
Um,
well.
so even I think I might have said to Ava about I would just get Mings on, even if it's like for 20 minutes. I know he hasn't played much football, but just more for the physicality of Mings. But
Yeah.
so yeah, that's the game really. What did you make? A couple more things on the game before we speak about Emery. George Hemmings when he come on, I actually thought he'd done all right. Some nice few touches in there.
He's absolute class. I think we done one in the summer, and actually said that I either said if injuries came up or I think it was next season regarding Barkley's contract. I basically said
I remember,
you'd
yeah.
sell. Yeah, I said if I was Villa, I wouldn't be too against selling Barkley in this window, the summer or the summer after. I think he might be on a free at the end of the summer. I might not. Don't quote me on that, but either way, letting Barkley go one way or another, and then keeping Hemmings around. And I said I was in pre-season, it looked really good. And yesterday, you know, if you put him and Bogard up against each other, you'd think Hemmings was the one that's been around the first team for, 3 or 4 years and played, 30, 40 games or whatever. But for me, yeah, I thought Hemmings was really good. And when he came on, I said to my dad, I was like, this is what we should have done earlier. Because you could see Bogard just weren't at it. I was like, and then he came on against Arsenal, and I thought done okay with he didn't do a lot, but he didn't
Done the
shy
simple
away.
stuff well.
Yeah, and what you were saying about Booba being open for the ball, Arsenal away, Hemmings never shied away from the ball, and
Mm.
yesterday again, a hostile atmosphere in the sense of we're 1-0 down in a game we shouldn't be losing on paper, but we are in this situation, and everybody is kind of playing bad. Not everybody, but most people playing bad. He didn't shy away again either, and I saw again something this morning that he hasn't misplaced a pass yet. Yeah, since obviously he's only 2 games, the Arsenal game and yesterday, hasn't misplaced. Every single pass has been completed, and people could say, yeah, well, it's simple passes, but Bogart couldn't do the simple passes yesterday.
No, not
Torres
many of
could do
them
a
could.
simple pass. Not many of them could.
No.
So yeah, I thought it was really good, and it's going to be difficult, obviously, against Newcastle. We don't know. We might sign someone might sign a couple in the week, but Newcastle specifically, their midfield is very, very good and very, very physical. One of the best in the league. If we have a fully fit midfield, you can have Booba and Arna, and then Tielemans just in front, or even McGinn in
Mm.
there. But you're without most of them, and you're left with Bogard and Tielemans. If it wasn't Newcastle away, I wouldn't, and I would say we were playing at Brentford at home, I would be against putting Tielemans and Hemmings together rather than Tielemans and Bogard, just of what I've seen already, because you saying about the availability when the centre halves have it, Hemmings gave us that yesterday,
Yeah,
and I'm just when Bogart gets on the ball, he just instills fear in me. Um,
he sort
and
of he controls the ball in a way that looks like he's not controlling the ball like he should. If that makes sense, he like
it looks
always
a bit
seems to be
awkward,
like on
but
the stretch quite a lot, Bogard. But
yeah,
me personally, I think he's come on leaps and bounds, and he's a good
he
versatile
had,
player. He's a good
yeah,
versatile squad player to have. But yeah, games like yesterday when you're chasing the game, he needs to come off, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? And we just had all we had was Hemmings on the bench who could, and that's where the squad depth comes into it. But I think you're right with Hemmings. Yeah, he's going to be a really, really good player. And he did. He was always there for the ball when we needed him yesterday when he come on.
mm.
So just talking on players, and it just come to my mind, and I've been saying it for a long time. But Buendia is shit, and I'm happy to say it live on this podcast, mate. I've been saying it for years. I know he scored the late goal against Arsenal, and I know he comes on and does some stuff. He got the goal against Tottenham, but he's one player. Oh, mate, he does my absolute nutting every game I see him play.
Do you know what it is with Emmy? Is that I heard something. I was listening to a podcast in the week, last week, in the build up to the Everton game, and it was a Villa one. But I can't remember what podcast it was, what platform it was. But Buendia's a type of player similar to El Ghazi, where his first action of the game will determine how he plays the whole game. Like if Buendia gets it and and he does a flick and it comes off, he's up for it. And he's going to have like you look at Tottenham away last Saturday night. He was superb because
Was he though?
first that he was
Was
good
he?
as he was good. He was good last Saturday, right? And even when you look at like the final away game, he was brilliant in that game as well. But if you look at his first actions, it's always positive. Whereas, and even like City at home when he came off injured, he was very good because first time he got it, I think it was Foden he spun and then ran through, and I'm like, okay, he's going to have a good game. Similar with El Ghazi, but if he gets the ball and he does one of those awful 5 yard passes, which I can't fathom, which I know you hate as well, the fact that he can hit a free kick in the top corner, but yet he can't pass from me to you away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's the most frustrating thing. But you will notice that he might only have one good performance in 5 games, but you can judge.
yeah. And
You
saying
will
he's
know.
shit might be a bit strong, but he frustrates the hell out of me. And
Mm,
to a point in a game, you say he's very good, but he'll do more bad stuff than good stuff in that game.
mm.
Like the hard stuff in football, he does well. The easy stuff in football, he does dreadful. And it's just us. I don't know. I don't know about Vendia. It was so frustrating yesterday.
Mm.
So frustrating yesterday. Anyway, that's my
Yeah,
Buendia rant over. Just before we do touch on Emery, I didn't see it till this morning, and I actually thought it was a foul on Rogers. You know, Garner when he was dribbling through. It's a proper two-hand push in the back, and it should be a second yellow card in my opinion. Did
yeah,
they did
it
they
should.
did they say anything on commentary yesterday about it or not?
Yeah, they said it was a foul, and he said he's
Hmm.
very lucky to get away with it, and it's true. But I'm so done with talking about referees in this country. I haven't come away from a game in God knows how long and said the referee was all right today. It's always about the referees. The standard of refereeing is so low. I don't even want to begin to talk about it because that infuriates me more than you with Buendia and me with Cash and you with Martinez and me now with Bogard. Like it just infuriates me so much. Like I hate all of them. Like
Yeah.
honestly, I hate all of them with a passion. I have zero sympathy for them. And yeah, less said about them, the better. They're all twats.
There was quite a few downbeat Villa fans yesterday leaving the ground. I would say, you know, like the typical, "Oh, we're shit. No, that's it. Season over."
Mm.
For me personally, I think it was just one of them games where we didn't turn up, we didn't look like scoring, nothing sort of went our way. No one was like, there was no one above like a 6 out of 10. Do you know what I mean? I think it was just one of them games, and I'm hoping it is. Do you think we should be worried with the lack of obviously the lack of players we got with injuries at the moment going forward? Obviously, we got a game Thursday, a game Sunday. Obviously, we got Brighton coming up midweek. We've got another Europa League game, so we've got a really busy schedule. Like if we lose, say, in the week to Wade Fenerbahce and then lose to Newcastle, are we thinking, bloody hell, what's going on here?
No, not these next two games, because again, I said to you before we came on that I'll take a point at Newcastle. I'll even take a point even when we had a fully fit squad, because I think they ain't won there in over 20 years. And the Fenerbahce game, I remember when we were talking 3, 4 weeks ago now, I was saying about the Europa League group stage. And I said, I was like, if you can win away at Basel, draw away at Fenerbahce, and then win at home to Salzburg,
Mm.
I said that would be a really good return, because Fenerbahce's squad on paper is actually pretty decent.
Yeah,
And
it is, yeah.
obviously,
And John Duran's
the
ban's been lifted as well, isn't it?
yeah,
So,
which is just typical. But yeah, I've always said about getting a point at Fenerbahce would be a good point, and Newcastle, in my opinion, right now is like a free hit. You know, you if you can get a point, you get a point. But the only concerning thing, like he says, is the squad depth right now. From first choice kind of midfielders, you've only got one available. Ideally, you want Yuri and Booba. Booba's not there, so when Booba's not there, you have Onana. When Onana ain't there, which he isn't, you have McGinn, and McGinn ain't there, which he isn't. You have Barkley, and now you're not Barkley, so now you're looking at
mm.
Bogard or like a George Hemmings. So we need. We don't. I think Onana's going to be back. They said maybe Newcastle the week after. Barkley's back. I know Barkley's training again. Don't know how long he'll actually be out for. Don't know the severity of McGinn's injury, so I don't see us doing like a panic buy into the midfield market. But it's going forward that worries me the most, because believe it or not, at the back like Mings has just come back. And obviously goalie, we have good depth across the back. We have good depth. Question over the back up to Cash, because Garcia hasn't done anything since he's come back
Mm.
from injury. But you have someone there as well with Bogart's like how he can play different positions and stuff. Midfield, we are threadbare right now, but you have a couple coming back in the next couple of weeks. Attacking wise, again, threadbare. You have if Watkins got injured, like I know, like Rogers is the guy I don't want to get injured. But worst case, if he got injured, fingers crossed he doesn't. But if he got injured, the drop off is big to someone like Buendia or a Sancho
Mm.
or even McGinn in the 10. But
Mm.
if Watkins gets injured, who the hell is going to play up front?
Just got that
If we
16-year-old.
if yeah, but if something happened to Watkins tomorrow, right? Anything, right? How I don't know what we'd do, and we're linked with Tammy, but Tammy started for Besiktas tonight,
Yeah,
so I don't get what's going on. And I know we're
don't
tight
know.
with PSR. That's a whole other conversation. We literally got our hands tied behind our backs,
See,
but
me personally, I know we've tried it, I think, in a couple of games and been shit. With the players that we got available, I would be looking at going at five at the back with the three centre backs and Matson and Cash.
mm,
Personally, just full of players that we got available. Um, but maybe we'll discuss that on the Fenerbahce preview and Newcastle preview about squad and formations and stuff. But me
yeah,
personally, I think it should be definitely in Emery's mind about switching to a back three, back five, say, with the players that we got available. McGinn's injury didn't look good. Um, he pulled up in the warm up. He fell over in the warm up, but pulled up in the warm up as well before the
oh,
game.
well, might be something stem from that then.
Yeah. So, and obviously, like you said, we've got more defenders at the moment than any other position. And normally it's been the other way around. We've always only ever got two defenders fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, hence why Konsa and Lindelof had to play every game.
Exactly.
But it's attackers where we struggle, and I don't know. We're not like the only one that I've seen like reliable is Tammy, and
Seems a bit awkward, doesn't it, and complicated with the Roma and where he's at now, it just seems a bit awkward because he's on loan there, isn't he?
I'm pretty sure they've actually triggered it to be
They triggered the
permanent.
clause. Have they done
Yeah,
that now, have they?
yeah, they've done that. I think that's why they're so anal about getting a loan player in
Yeah,
return.
because I saw either want 20 million or 10 million in the player or something like that.
Yeah,
That's what I saw.
it was from what I'm seeing, it's 10 million and a player for an 18-month loan. But again, you're bringing a player in and they're going to want an attacker to kind of replace Tammy. Okay, yeah, who are we going to give? We're going to like, oh, we'll give you Gasson, even though he's absolute wank. Who are we then going to have on the right? Because right now, Gasson's starting on the right for Villa. On
Well, that's Sancho. Sancho was here, wasn't he? So he should be back for Thursday.
I still think he'll play Gasson just for his work rate. I'm telling you,
Potentially.
it's awful. But anyway,
We'll
like
talk about that
Gasson,
in the preview.
but Gasson's
Um,
going to play that game, and it's like we have like Gasson shouldn't be starting for Villa. I'm not being funny, but and even like when if you look at the level we're at, we're tied second in the Prem. We are Champions League side from last year. We are tied top of the Europa League, and yet you look at the team we put out. And I know we have injuries and stuff, but like that isn't like like I says like you have Gasson there, Buendia. I know I'm a bit more of an admirer of him than you are, but again, Buendia's there. You've got Bogard there, which I'm not the biggest fan of. He is very versatile, yes, but he doesn't get into anyone's starting 11. I don't care what you say if everyone's fit. So it's like you're starting with these players, and then you're gonna. Now we have an expectation on us to go to Fenerbahce, win or get a point, go to Newcastle and get a result.
hmm.
It is hard, and my worry would be not these next two games because again I'll take a point in both. If I'm honest, might be a bit negative, but I would with what we've got available. But it's the games after. I think we spoke about. I think we got like again Leeds or Brentford at home. We got Brighton at home, and it's just like these are the games where if we lost 2-0 at home to Brighton, or we lost to Leeds 2-1, or Brentford 3-1, or whatever. I get the Everton one, bit of a slip up. McGinn going off weren't ideal, but if that carries over, that's where you worry. But we won't spend too much on that because hopefully that isn't the case. But we do need to, in my opinion, make at least one signing this week
Yeah,
because
I
anything
agree.
can happen. Anything can happen to Ollie. Anything can happen to any of our attacking players, like we saw with Sancho um, being ill, McGinn getting injured, Marlon going. Again, whoever sanctioned that Marlon sale without having a replacement, I don't understand that because that's baffling.
No one will understand it, will they? Why they done it? But
No.
we move on. And do you think, obviously, moving on now to Emery's comments after the game? I imagine you've seen it. Like I saw it. I don't know if you heard what my old man put in on the Villa group that Simon Jordan and Stuart Pearce talking about in Talk Sport. I
Mm,
viewed it how they viewed it, sort of thing. It wasn't
yeah.
like a moan or anything like that. It's just saying this is all we've got. Do you know what I mean? We can't compete on all these levels. Like we shouldn't be finishing in the top five with our squad depth and stuff like that. Or did you take it as like it was a dig at the board, maybe, or a dig at the Premier League for the PSR? Well, how did you take it?
Yeah, dig at the at PSR really, and the Premier League corrupt bastards. Like if you look at the I think Friday night comments came out about we from his press conference we can't spend how City have just spent this window signing Gagi and Semenyo, and how other clubs around us are going to spend. Even like Tottenham signing Gallagher, we can't spend that.
No.
So he said about creating our history in our own way, which I'm all for while we have our hands tied. Obviously, it's not ideal with all the injuries, but I'm, that's what we have to do. But when he says about not being contenders in the top five, he's saying it that you look from Villa's, we spent about 30 million in the summer, and most of that was on Gassond.
Hmm.
So it's like we've spent that. Liverpool spent 500 million. City have spent over 500 million in 12 months.
Chelsea spent.
So
United
Chelsea
spent.
spent, everybody spent, everybody's strengthening, right? It's even Tottenham. I know he hasn't been that great, but Xavi Simons they signed for big money. He's supposed to be the next thing, the next big thing. So it's like
Yeah.
they're signing all these players. where's our star signing from this
Yeah,
from
I
this summer?
totally agree with you. And there's only the only negative point I would make is like how much did we sign Gazon for? 32 million, was it?
Yeah,
Like for me, we should be getting better for 32 million. Like I don't
no,
think the
yeah.
money that we got available, I don't think we're spending very well. And a lot of
Mm.
Emery signings that come in last 12 to 18 months and then they're moved on.
It did kind of
Because
come.
I don't think we're recruiting good enough players for our level, if that makes sense, where we are now, personally.
It
But
Yeah, I'm with you.
um,
It did come out that well, a lot of these signings are Monchi signings. So like the whole
yeah,
Gasson thing, it might have been a Monchi deal, and if that's the case, then you can't hold it on Emery.
no, exactly. We don't know what goes on, do we?
We don't
But
know. We don't
I
know.
just think the
We don't
money
know
we
what goes
spent
on.
recently is it's been quite wasteful what we spent on.
Oh no,
Obviously, I think
very
we will
much
get a
so.
profit on Marlon eventually. And we only had him for 12 months. I know it's profit, but um, I do think hopefully we are looking like we're signing younger players. Obviously with Allison and that forward coming in. So
But even that's 20 million. So it's like it. Surely, if we have funds there, say we have 40 million to spend in this window, right? I don't know what the actual figures are, but let's say we have 40, 50 million without selling Marlon. We have 40, 50 million, right? Why would you spend half of that budget on these two youngsters that aren't going to play a lot this season
yeah,
properly? You're going to do that, and then you only have 20 million left. Obviously, yeah, Marlon's gone now, so you're back up to your 40. But for me, it don't make sense signing these young players when you know that we need improvements. You know that we need a backup to Ollie. That's like. I'm
mm.
sorry, like if he gets, yeah, that's it. It's just it's frustrating, but
I just
like I
think
said,
obviously, you think last season we were like this in January, and then all of a sudden we got Rashford and Asensio on loan. I don't
mm,
think we're going to get that sort of quality in this January.
okay,
Um,
mm, yeah.
Personally, but hopefully they've got something up their sleeve that's going to happen soon. But I haven't seen any links to anyone apart from Tammy. So
We've
um,
been linked to that to the forward, but yeah, he's was at Sevilla, and now I think he's actually at Fenerbahce.
yeah, and the
Well,
series.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, we linked with him as well, but I think Everton
Yeah,
were the
he's
were the,
currently at AFCON. I know it's finished now, but he was at AFCON, wasn't he? He's
it
Moroccan,
was
isn't
it was supposed to be. I think Everton were front runners for him,
he? Yeah,
but then
Jan and
apparently,
Siri.
yeah, they've been offered. He's been offered twice apparently. But I mean, if in my opinion, I'd be happy if Tammy came in at how we are right now.
Yeah, me too.
If you got Tammy in and then a winger that like can do a bit because the Allison we bought a player that's injured by the looks of it. He hasn't. I don't know. It's just frustrating. I talk about it a lot, so it's frustrating again to talk about it again because it kind of brings the anger back.
But yeah, we'll wrap out there. We will be back for a Fenerbahce preview. Keep your hopes up. Hopefully, we'll get some players in before Sunday, at least one. Hopefully,
Mm.
um, up the Villa from me.
Villa.
Cheer up, boy.